Hello, everybody. How are you doing? Thanks for coming back. This is S. Anthony Thomas. This is the S. Anthony Thomas Show. And you know what I want to talk to you about this time? I want to talk to you about times when we want more of something. We see something and we want more of something. And then we get more of something and we realize that we got just too much. Sometimes enough is enough. And sometimes too much is way too much. I'll explain during the show. So, are you ready? Of course you are. Let's do it. Hey everybody, you know what? Let's just get right into it. You heard the intro. You know what this show's about. I want to talk about times when you want something because you think it's great, and all of a sudden you make the mistake and forget that there's a possibility of having too much of something. And it happens to us all, and it happens to us in different areas of our lives. We don't necessarily notice it because we never go to the extremes, but when we do, if we sit back and look at what we do, you know you messed up a few times. Sometimes you want something because it's great and you get greedy and then you get too much of it and oh no, it's just ruined. I'll even keep it light in the beginning, right? Say you go to a place. I remember going to a place where they had this burrito that was the best burrito in the world. You've been there before. Whatever your food is. Maybe it's a dessert. I'm going to say burritos because that's what I'm talking about for me. But it could be a dessert with you or some Chinese food or an Italian restaurant. It doesn't really matter what it is. But there's a time when you go someplace and something is awesome, the best pizza or whatever it is, and you get okay, we're going to go back to burritos because that's the example for me. You go to a place, get this incredible burritos, the best most incredible burrito, the greatest and incredible and quadruple incredible. You're driving home after eating it and you're thinking about that burrito. You're already plotting coming back to this place because you didn't know this place was there. It's a couple of blocks away from your regular route, and because something was an accident or something like that, you got redirected past this place. But now this place is burned into your mind. Burrito. I gotta get another burrito. It's burning in your mind. You're at work. Burrito. You can't believe you're still thinking about this burrito. You're sitting there with your significant other, smooching it down, right? When it's over, you're laying there. She's thinking how great it is. That was great and incredible. You're the best, incredible. I love you too. And in the mind, you're going, I do love this woman more than anything. But number two, burrito. Yeah, I said it. You know what I'm talking about, right? Go back to the burrito place and you're going, oh, one burrito isn't enough. I need more burritos, dagnabbit. And you get greedy. Instead of buying two, one for now and maybe one for later, you get greedy and you buy 6 of them. You don't need 6 burritos, you greedy scumbag. You know what I'm talking about, but you buy the 6 burritos anyway. You put them in the refrigerator and you're like, yeah. In fact, you don't even eat one of the burritos. There, you take them all home because you just want to see those 6 burritos sitting in the refrigerator. You look at them, I'm going to tear those burritos up. In fact, I'm gonna have one right now, dagnabbit. You shove it down your throat. You don't even taste that one. You get the second one. You taste that one. You savor that one, and it's fantastic, incredible, double incredible. You love it. And then you bite into the third one. You shouldn't be doing that because you're already full. Stop being a pig, but who cares? I got 6 and I'm going to eat 2.5 because my stomach's starting to hurt. Right? And because your stomach's upset because you shoved too much food down and you don't even touch those burritos for a while. In fact, that chant of burrito is no longer in your head. The last thing you want is a burrito. You kind of forget about them. You go about your business, right? They stay in there for a while. You go back in and go, all right, let me bite into one of these. It went bad, and now you got to throw them in the trash. Those burritos cost $10 a pop, and basically you just threw $30 into the trash can because you got greedy. Why? You took too many, you greedy person. It happens all over the place. We think we want more of something, but then when we get more of something, we don't want more of that something. I'll even go to the relationships. You know what I'm saying? You ever move in or have a girlfriend move in, or you move in with a girlfriend, right? You go on the date and everything's fantastic. She's wearing that sundress because she likes the way your eyes light up when you see her in that sundress, and your eyes light up when you see her in that sundress because that sundress is not even a sundress. That sundress is pure happiness. Oh, yeah. right? Maybe you wear something she likes you to wear. Maybe you're a good shape guy. You got the arms and the thing and the chest and all pumped up, and you wear something that shows your pumped upness, and she's looking at you and you're looking at her, and she's looking at you and you're looking at her, and you know what you're going to do later on. Oh, yeah. You're on your best behavior because you both know you don't want to do anything stupid, because right now you're both guaranteed to later on. You're at the candlelit dinner. You're looking across at her and she's the most beautiful thing you've ever seen in the world. You're looking at him. He's Captain Handsome. Oh, yeah. Then you go back to whoever's place and boom, boom, jiggy, boom, the boom, jiggy, the crap out of each other. Oh, yeah. And you start thinking about them at work. You're thinking about her. She's thinking about him. And you're having a great day because every memory, every thought of that other person is just them looking great. And you were, and them, boom, boom, jiggy, boom, the boom, jiggy. It's fantastic. You can't get enough of them. You were looking at the calendar. I'm going to be on a date with that other person in 3 days, 2 days, 1 day. Oh, yay. Today's the day. You can't get enough of that person. And you decide, why in the world are we living in separate places? I'm going to have to dump my apartment. She's going to have to dump her apartment. Why don't we just get an apartment together? That's a great idea, Bill. Fantastic. And now you're both packing up your places, deciding what stuff to put in storage. And you're thinking about that other person that you can't wait to move in with. Oh, yeah, this is going to be fantastic. Oh, yeah, every time I see her, she's looking good and smelling good. And she's nice and funny and charming and fantastic. And she's thinking the same thing about him. Now, as a 52-year-old man, I've literally been in that situation. And I also realize, as a 52-year-old man who's gone through that a couple of times, that these two people are morons. Because they don't know what's coming. They were on dating. Impress the other person behavior. Yeah, anybody can keep it together for a 3-hour date and some boom, boom, jiggity, boom, boom. Anybody can keep that crap together for that. But now you're in the same house. There's no hiding in the same house. Right? When you were dating, I'm going to go freshen up, and she freshens up, and you don't got to see all that crap that she's doing, and he goes to clean himself up. You ain't got to see that crap, but now you're living together. You wanted more of her. You wanted more of him, and now you got too much of her, and she got too much of him. Oh, no. You know what I'm talking about. Her laugh was cute, and now you can't stand it. His jokes are funny, and now you wish you could kick him over the side of the balcony. You know what I'm talking about, right? You're sitting next to each other on the couch. It's a lazy Sunday. You're not going anywhere. Why take a shower, right? And you're sitting there hugged up on the couch, and you don't smell horrible, but there's just the hint of a little teeny bit of BO. The other person who's actually has a little bit of BO can't smell it because, well, it's their funk. But it's not your funk, and you can smell it. You're hugged up on the couch, and you're putting your head on each other's shoulders, and right? You don't stink when your head's not on her shoulders. She doesn't stink when her head's not on. You don't stink when your heads are not that close together, but you sit on the couch together, you hold hands, right? Each one of you is thinking it's romantic, but you realizing you're holding each other's hands because at this distance, they ain't as funky as they were when you were hugged up. You no shower nasty people, right? When you were on the date, you had her full attention. Every time you said something, she was staring at you like you're the greatest, incredible, most incredible thing in the world. But now all of a sudden you realize you normally don't see her on Sunday. Your dates are normally on Saturday, but you're living together now, and it's Sunday, and you're expecting her attention. The phone rings, and then it's one of her girlfriends, and they're going to have one of their 12-hour talking about stuff you couldn't care about fests, right? You're trying to touch her hand. Within a minute, right? She gets off the couch, goes into the other room, closes the door. You hear her laughing in there, right? All day long. Oh, you're not used to being around her when she's not paying attention to you, and you don't like it. I didn't sign up for this, dag nabbit, right? She gets off the phone with that friend. Another friend's going to call later to talk about stuff you couldn't care about. And she comes out to you and she's sitting next to you on the couch. And now she went into the other room, she goes, oh, my underarms are stinking. And she takes a rag and cleans herself off so she won't be funky. She comes back outside to sit next to you and she thinks she's going to hug all up on you. But bad news, you're now watching the UFC and two dudes are kicking each other in the throat. And as much as you love her right now, you love the fact that you got $50 on a dude that's ahead on the scorecards right now, and you ain't trying to hear what the crap she's got to say. Don't you have some friends to call? And you know what to talk to me, you bastard? You know what I'm talking about, right? He wins $200 and he's happy, but she's not happy. She's mad because he wasn't paying attention to her because he was watching the fights, and then he's about to go. He tries to apologize. Up too late, phone's ringing. Now her friend's on the phone and now she's in the other room, and you know she's talking about you because when she was on the phone, when you weren't mad at each other, you couldn't hear anything but a couple of laughs when her friend said something that she thought was funny. But now all of a sudden you start hearing random words said loudly. Inconsiderate, selfish, bad decision to live with him. Right? You wanted more of each other, but as it turns out now, you had too much of each other. In the beginning, your relationship was that first burrito. And right now, you're getting really close to being the last 3 burritos that were thrown into the trash can. You know what I'm talking about. There's many areas and many ways where you want more of something, and as it turns out, when you get that something, you don't really want that something. You don't want it. Everybody wants to win the Powerball lottery. Everybody wants it. We all play it. I stopped playing the Powerball lottery years ago because I realized, hey, for that same $2, I can have some orange juice and I actually get something out of that, but that's just me. But you see these people all the time. I see it on YouTube. I looked up on YouTube lottery winners and what actually happens to them. There's a handful, maybe half a handful of the people that won these ridiculously big Powerball lotteries and were happy. The Johnson family, they won $600 million and then and you notice the people that were happy were the people that very, very quietly got their money, moved out of the house, moved out of town, and got away from everybody. Those people were happy. Why? Because they got away from everybody. But everybody else are out there holding a check, getting pictures taken of them. And what do they get? What happens to them? Scam artists are climbing all over them. Relatives who they haven't heard from in a billion years, always showing up. Somebody that helped them out with a quiz in second grade shows up. Remember that time I helped you out with the quiz and you were making a turkey with your hand and you had your hand backwards and the tail was in the front and instead of the back, and I think that's worth $2 million. You know what I'm talking about, right? People want to show up. You got relatives who want to open up a car wash and all of that stupid crap. You know what I'm saying? You think you want it, but you don't really want it. Wouldn't it be kind of cool to get just enough of something? Right? Wouldn't it be cool to just get just enough of something? Just enough money, right? We'll go back to the relationship. Imagine that relationship where the people couldn't get enough of each other, and then moved in together, and all of a sudden they couldn't wait to get away from each other. What about they both had the kind of jobs where they worked a lot of hours, right? So even though they're living together and they couldn't wait to get to be together and they couldn't wait to get more of each other, their jobs, their career, or whatever activities they had kept them apart just enough where they missed each other. Well, now they're living together, and now when they finally get to spend time together, it's just as great as it was when they were dating, right? He had this sales meeting, she had this sales meeting. It was really grueling, but now they can relax and enjoy each other. Oh, it's great. You're getting more than you were getting when you were dating, but not as much as you normally would have gotten if you weren't so busy. So you get just enough of each other, and they live happily ever after until they both retire and realize they're both annoying. Back to the lottery. So what about you, one of those people that wins $400 million in the lottery? You know exactly what's going to happen to you. I just described it. Scam artists come out of nowhere. Relatives want something. People pretend to be romantically interested in you just so they can get some of your money. Maybe they, kill you. You know what I'm saying? But what about, instead of winning $400 million in the lottery, what about you won $5 million in the lottery? What about instead of getting it in a lump sum, you got it as several $100,000s a year spread out over an extremely long period of time? In which case, you really wouldn't even have to tell anybody about it, would you? Right? Would you? Why would you tell anybody? Just be a kind of person that lives pretty good. And then if somebody needs help, you kind of sneak in real quick and help them on the low. Right? Yeah, man, I really can't afford this money. Yes, you can. You want $5 million, but they don't know about it. But I'm going to hook you up right there. You pay me back when you get a chance, man. It's really a stretch me to give you this $5,000. But, I had it saved up for something, but, oh, man, thanks a lot, man. I'm going to really work to get it back to you. And because they think it's a stretch, they eventually do, over the course of time, pay you back, right? So you made sure they were covered. You made sure they were good, but you didn't set yourself up to be a chump because they're coming up to you trying to get you to buy them something stupid, right? Sometimes you want more. But you realize more is not always better, right? I thought about this one time. Imagine you actually won that money and you had relatives that were making about 50 grand a year, right? Just think about this scenario. And you won some big giant chunk of money. And they're not exactly the best at taking care of the money they have. They're making a living, but you see them buying stupid crap and they're making dopey decisions. And you win $400 million in the lottery, or $100 million in the lottery or something like that. Let's say 400. And you decide, you know what I can do? I can take a chunk of this bread. I can invest it in such a way that the dividends or the passive income from this bread will give them $75,000 a year, tax-free. Yeah. Now keep in mind, this person was making $50,000 a year. And now you just added another $75,000. Now, if this is me, if I was the recipient of that, I would go, thank you. I appreciate it. But I know people who would get angry. Oh, you got $400 million. Why don't you just give me $1 million? Because 6 months later, you'd be coming back for another $1 million. You would keep coming back until I didn't have any money left. And you'd be the first person at the bar. My relative had $400 million. I don't know how the heck he spent all that money. He's an idiot. That would happen. All I'm saying, people, is listen. Like I've said this before, I said it again. If you actually met me in person, I would say exactly the same thing. Sometimes you want more and you realize more is too much and you should be happy with just enough. Am I wrong? Is there something where you really wanted more of something? You got the more and you realize that the more absolutely sucked? Of course you do. You know what I'm talking about. You know I'm right. You dig? Think about that for a while. All right, folks, that has been this episode of the S. Anthony Thomas Show. Thank you guys for coming back. Look, I just want to say this. Much love to everybody. If you like this show, and you do me a favor. Rate and review the show. Tell people you think would like the show about the show. I would appreciate it. And I appreciate you for coming back every week. Actually, you come back twice a week, which I appreciate even more. You're damn right. Much love to you all, and I will see you later. Take care. All right. Thank you very, very much for coming back, my friends. Much love to you. I will see you again Friday for the second episode of This Per Week. For those of you that are new and that are listening to this episode for the first time, on this particular podcast, I do 2 shows, one on Wednesday and one on Friday. And coming soon, there's going to be a lot of interviews with some good comics and some other people that I find interesting and that I believe you will find interesting as well. So stay tuned. But I just want to say this. Much love to you, and I will see you again next time. Take care.